Students are preparing to head home for Thanksgiving break and the semester. How Kent State is helping students with new COVID restrictions.
Governor DeWine putting into effect a statewide curfew. As COVID cases rise, Ohioans and businesses now are not permitted out past 10 p.m. More on this later.
President-elect Joe Biden still waiting on clearance from the Trump administration to receive security briefings. Experts weigh in on how this could affect Americans.
This is TV2 News.
Good evening, Portage County. It's 6 o'clock Tuesday, and we start with the status of hospitals in Portage County and their care of coronavirus patients. I'm Rachel Gross.
And I'm Gianna DaPra.
As we get closer to Thanksgiving break, students are still figuring out their holiday plans.
Yeah, many students are still worried about how COVID-19 could affect them at the dinner table.
Our reporter Alexandria Manthey has a story. Hi, Alex.
Hi, guys. That is right. College students across the United States are put in a difficult situation this year traveling home during a pandemic. Many are wondering if they should get tested before heading home for the holidays. Is urging Kent State students to be tested before they go home for Thanksgiving break. I spoke with students today to see what their plans are for COVID-19 testing.
Yes, I do plan on it, doing the rapid testing that they have at Kent.
So I actually got tested last week because I wasn't feeling that good. I didn't have it. I know my roommate is.
Getting tested before traveling home would help find out if family members are at risk. I sat down with Dr. Zarconi from Neomed to see his opinions on testing. He says that students should be tested, but remember that this is not a free pass to gather.
Today's the 17th. We're a week away from Thanksgiving, and if they test negative today, that doesn't mean their status couldn't change prior to their traveling.
Thanksgiving may look very different this year due to social distancing and mask requirements. The CDC released new guidelines for the holiday on Wednesday.
Keep your distance, keep your distance, keep your distance. Set the table so that people are 6 or more feet apart. After dinner, put your face coverings back on, even if you're still sitting at the table talking. If you gather in the family room, gather in a physically distanced way.
Many Kent State students are following guidelines and keeping their Thanksgiving small this year.
Small, probably just like me, my mom, dad, grandparents, so just probably that. And I would say make sure you know if you have it before you go home, because, you know, a lot of at-risk people when you go home to your family.
I have a really big family, and, like, I'd love to see them all, but my grandparents are, reaching 90, so I know, even though I want to see them, it's best interest to stay home. Shoot a phone call, but I'd rather not spread it.
Testing is available for students at CVS, the DeWeese Health Center, and the Kiva Center by appointment. Reporting in the Franklin Hall newsroom, I'm Alexandria Manthey.
And we're not talking about closing any businesses as we did then, but what we're asking every Ohioan to do is to limit your activity, limit your contacts with other Ohioans. So how are we going to do that? We're issuing a curfew, and the curfew will start Thursday at 10 p.m.
The curfew runs from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. and will stay this way for 21 days. This means retail should be closed by then and people home by 10 p.m. Exceptions from the curfew are people who have an emergency or need to be at work. DeWine says it shouldn't stop people from getting groceries and carry-out or drive-through meals. This goes into effect on Thursday.
Kent State updated its COVID-19 dashboard today, reporting 95 new COVID-19 cases for the week of Sunday, November 8th. This is up from 81 new cases the week before, increasing by 14. There have been 508 total cases of coronavirus related to the Kent campus since July 7th.
And just down the road in Akron, they are setting to ban private gatherings with more than 6 non-household members. This will last for 30 days or until December 16th. Police will be enforcing this and, if caught, could result in a $250 fine. Small gatherings with 6 or fewer guests are allowed but must be wearing masks.
Ohio Senator Rob Portman has entered into a COVID-19 vaccine clinical trial. The vaccine is being developed by Johnson & Johnson and research will take place at a Cincinnati-based research firm. Portman hopes to play a small role in supporting the county's coronavirus response, stating that the more people who participate in the trial, the sooner it can be approved by the FDA. If the vaccine is effective, Johnson & Johnson wants to have the first emergency use batches ready by early 2021.
According to records from First Energy, over 15,000 customers in Portage County were without power Sunday evening. Large windstorm brought down several power lines and trees. The outage percentage was around 20% for the county, and this is now down to 1.87%, with nearly 1,500 people still affected. The most people currently with their power out are in Shalersville, Deerfield, and Rootstown townships. And last week we were wearing shorts, but this week we laced up our snow boots. Today was a white and wintry day here in Kent and all over Northeast Ohio as snow covered the streets this morning. It was recorded 0.2 of an inch of snow. Finally feeling like some normal November weather here, but that all could change as we are looking to have some more warm weather as the week goes on. But for now, the first snow is a perfect excuse to stay in tonight, get comfy, and throw on an early Christmas movie.
I'm Rachel Gross here with your Tuesday evening weather report. So Kent seeing its second snow of the season today. I woke up this morning feeling a bit in the Christmas spirit, and I don't know about you guys. Anyways, let's get into your current conditions here. We're still seeing some snow showers around the region right now, 31 degrees, but it feels like 22 with the wind chill and the snow still falling. Wind is at 4 miles per hour now. Now moving on to our next graphic, we can see that around the region, we're seeing temperatures in the low 30s all across the board. 37 up in Sandusky, that's the high that we're seeing right now, but relatively 30, 31 where the areas where we're seeing this lake effect snow come down. Now moving on to the statewide temperatures here, we can see up here where we're seeing that snow still coming in, it's going to be a little bit colder than down here in Cincinnati at 39, who is not seeing that snow currently. And moving on to the national radar, we can see that it's all pretty much clear throughout the Midwest except for up here where the snow is coming off the Great Lakes and affecting Northeast Ohio and also parts of Pennsylvania as well. I know my family back home in Pittsburgh saw some snow today too. Now zooming in on these showers right here as we move on, we're going to keep seeing some snow throughout the rest of the night, but that should clear up a little bit later, and that's what's going on right now. Stick around for a look into the rest of the week and the weekend in case you're looking to travel back home for the holidays next week. Back to you, Gianna.
Still unable to gain access to federal intelligence information. Put national security front and center. We have the details.
And yet another hurricane ravaging Central America. Category 4 Iota made landfall in Nicaragua last night, a country still reeling from ETA. More on this when TV2 News returns.
And in a galaxy far, far away, or the International Space Station, Baby Yoda is making his setting out on a 6-month space mission. We have more in 90 seconds.
Daughter with her reading.
Searching for help with Dachshund reading.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be flood next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
President-elect Joe Biden is receiving a national security briefing today. A transition official says it featured a team of diplomatic, intelligence, and defense experts. But this is not an official briefing. Biden has yet to receive classified intelligence briefings since he won the presidency. Biden said that Vice President-elect Kamala Harris is still receiving intelligence briefings in her role on the Senate Intelligence Committee. CNN's Jessica Dean has more.
President-elect Joe Biden announced today his White House staff positions, including senior ranks of his campaign and close friends. His former campaign manager, Jen O'Malley-Dillon, will serve as a deputy chief of staff, and Louisiana Representative Cedric Richmond will have senior roles in the White House, leaving his congressional seat to fill the White House position. Richmond spoke out about his resignation and will now serve as a senior advisor to the president-elect and director of the White House Office of Public Engagement.
There's no formula on earth that I would have left my seat in Congress after attaining seniority, after becoming the assistant to the whip in leadership, after chairing the Congressional Black Caucus and being the current chair of the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation, if I did not think that this new role would serve Louisiana better than my past role.
Jack Dorsey, CEO of Twitter, and Mark Zuckerberg, CEO of Facebook, testified today in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee on topics such as misinformation and the 2020 election. More than half of the questions asked were about content moderation. Democrats asked questions about how moderation efforts could be increased in terms of hate speech, while Republicans focused on the claim that the sites focus more on taking down conservative-leaning content.
We focus on addressing attempts to undermine civic integrity, providing informative context, and product changes to encourage greater conversation. We did exactly that, applying labels to over 300,000 tweets from October 27th to November 11th, which represented about 2.2% of all US election-related tweets.
At Facebook, we took our responsibility to protect the integrity of this election very seriously. In 2016, we began to face new kinds of threats, and after years of preparation, we were ready to defend against them. Altogether, I believe this was the largest election integrity effort by any private company in recent times. This is what people expect of us, and I'm glad that from what we've seen so far, our systems performed well.
Hurricane Iota made landfall today as a Category 4 storm in Nicaragua, leaving catastrophic damage for the region. Iota touched down only 15 miles south of where Hurricane Eta was only 2 weeks ago as a Category 4 hurricane. The Caribbean Sea and the Pacific Oceans are flooding Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala, and the southern Belize, not giving them a break. Right now, here is a video from the streets of the city of Toccoa in Honduras.
Welcome back to your Tuesday evening weather report. As I said earlier, this snow is still here, but it's going to clear up by 9 p.m. and we're not going to see that snow anymore as we move in throughout the night. By midnight, it's going to be a nice, clear night. Those temperatures, however, still down in the low 30s. And by the time we wake up tomorrow morning, it's going to be a little bit cloudy. Again, a little partly cloudy here and there, but should be a relatively clear morning, and we're not going to wake up to the snow on the ground that we had this morning. Now, looking at your morning commute, clear commute, no chance of precipitation, thankfully, tomorrow morning. 33 degrees, still pretty cold. You're still going to want to grab your winter coat, but you'll be able to leave the snow boots at home for tomorrow. And then looking into your 7-day forecast, 42 degrees tomorrow on Wednesday, no rain or snow. Thursday, those winds are going to kick back in a little bit, but only 10 to 20 miles per hour. Shouldn't be too bad as we were seeing this past weekend. Going to get back up to 59 degrees, so it will be quite warm to end the week on Friday with sunshine and clouds again at 59. This weekend, Saturday and Sunday, chance of rain for both days, so not a pleasant weekend if you are going to be traveling home for Thanksgiving break. I'd say make the trip on Friday if you are able to, but for the weekend, going to be pretty rainy there. Again, on Monday, chance of rain 40%. As we go into the beginning of next week, we are still going to see that chance of rain around 46 degrees, so pretty mild temperatures, not like the cold and bitter weather that we had today. And that's all I have for you. Back to you, Gianna.
A big journey for our astronaut is a go, but a familiar face is up there with them. Find out who and what they're doing when we come back in 90 seconds.
This is Portage County's TV2, broadcasting from the campus of Kent State University. Streaming online at kentwired.com.
The inherent right to work is one of the elemental privileges of a free people. Endowed, as our nation is, with abundant physical resources, and inspired as it should be, with the high purpose to make those resources and opportunities available for the enjoyment of all. We approach this problem of reemployment with the real hope of finding a better answer than we have now.
Myth. If you get COVID-19, you'll recover after a few days. That myth is false. We're only just beginning to understand the effects of COVID-19 on the human body, as we're starting to see more and more people identifying as long haulers who are having symptoms for weeks, if not months, after their initial infection. Continue to wear a mask, socially distance, and wash your hands. Together, we can keep COVID out of school.
For ways to keep your community safe, go to backtoschooltogether.com.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
I surrender.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's that?
Do we have a gun?
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is TV2 News, truly Portage County.
As of today, Amazon is now a drugstore. The company is launching Amazon Pharmacy in the U.S., functioning like a traditional drugstore. It will even accept most insurances, and Prime members get free 2-day shipping. Amazon Pharmacy also offers an 80% discount on generic medications and 40% off brand names. Shares of Rite Aid, Walgreens, and CVS Health all fell sharply in pre-market trading following Amazon's announcement.
Hulu began notifying its customers yesterday that it's raising prices. Just 1 year after the new rate will be $10 a month more on both of its 2 live TV bundles. This will go into effect on December 18th. However, a Hulu subscription without live TV channels is not going up. Hulu operates the largest live TV streaming service in the U.S. with more than 4 million subscribers.
Heading into the holiday shopping season, economists are worried U.S. retail sales could use a boost after shoppers spent less than expected in October. The Census Bureau reported retail sales climbed only 0.3% on a seasonally adjusted basis. However, online sales jumped more than 3%. But with winter approaching and COVID cases rising, brick-and-mortar stores could take another hit, with many states putting restrictions back into place.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Hello everybody, I'm Berney with your TV2 Sports Report. In a little over an hour and a half, all eyes will be on the Wagon Wheel Challenge between the Kent State Golden Flashes and the Akron Zips. Now this rivalry began all the way back in the spring of 1870 when Akron industrialist John R. Buchtel set out for the town of Kent in search of a site to establish a college. In the muddy Ohio fields, however, his wagon became stuck in the area where Kent State University is currently located. When horses pulled the wagon, a wheel came loose and became buried until it was discovered in 1902 during the construction of a pipeline along the Western Reserve Trail. The wheel eventually fell into the possession of Dr. Raymond Manchester, who, as the Kent State Dean of Men in 1945, suggested the local historic artifact be offered as a trophy to the winner of the Kent State-Akron football game, and they played for the wagon wheel ever since. The winner of tonight's game will take the edge in the all-time series at 25-24-1. And let's move into my preview of tonight's matchup. And this game features two teams going in completely different directions. The Flashes are coming off a 62-24 victory against BG and have won 6 straight games overall. It's been the opposite for the Zips. They've lost 19 straight games, including last week's contest 24-10 to the Ohio Bobcats. Last season, the Flashes beat the Zips 26-3 and retained the wagon wheel for the first time since 2014. Before last year's win, Akron had won the previous 4 matchups between the two. Kent State is favored in this game by 27 points, but anything can happen in a rivalry game. So what do the Flashes need to do to keep the wheel and start 3-0? Let's take a look at my keys to tonight's game. Key number 1, establish the run game early. The Flashes have had 5 straight games of 200-plus rushing yards, and they are 5-0 in those games. Key number 2, stop the pass. Kent State's pass defense has been stellar in the first 2 games, only allowing the opposing teams to complete 49% of their passes. And key number 3, spread the wealth on offense. Last week, 7 different players caught a pass and 3 different players caught TDs. I think if they do that, they will win this game. And my prediction for tonight, I think Kent State gets it done 49-13 over the Akron Zips. I predict Dustin Crum will have another stellar game with 2 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown. Kickoff is at 8, and the game can be seen on ESPN. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at TV2KSE Sports for up-to-the-minute scores, stats, and notes from tonight's game. Also, be sure to tune into TV2 News tomorrow for a recap, highlights, and analysis. That's all I have for sports. Back to you guys for more news.
History is being made as we speak up in space, but they are not doing it alone. A friendly face is up there with them, and we have the details when we return.
And we have all the updates on SpaceX coming up next after the break.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere, and just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. I have a mentor, and she convinced me to continue my education.
No one receives a diploma alone.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the-right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane. Woo! You got this. Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3.
okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
What to expect when you're expecting
Like here.
a teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to teen-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys, preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
Ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Welcome back.
We have the latest from NASA. A team of astronauts has successfully docked with the International Space Station. The 4 astronauts were on the SpaceX Crew Dragon for its first fully operational mission.
The docking occurred about 1 a.m. last night after a 27-hour mission. The astronauts are set to spend about 6 months in space conducting research. Here's a NASA astronaut, Michael Hopkins, where he shares more about the historic journey.
It's really amazing that this is marking the start of operational crew rotation missions to the International Space Station from the Florida coast, and so it was an amazing ride. I can't tell you how excited we were when that rocket lifted off the pad, and then the last 27 hours has gone really smooth, actually. And so we are so excited to be here. We are humbled, and we are excited to be a part of this great expedition. And so we are looking forward to the next 6 months and can't wait to get started.
And the astronauts boarding the International Space Station weren't alone. Baby Yoda was along for the ride. The plush Star Wars toy was spotted on a live stream from inside SpaceX Crew Dragon.
Baby Yoda stole viewers' hearts in Season 1 of The Mandalorian on Disney+, but for this mission, he was likely used as a zero-gravity indicator for the astronauts. It's nice to know that the Force will be with them.
My gosh, he is the cutest little thing. I mean, I'm not like a Star Wars gal, but I feel like he was a huge internet sensation this year.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody loves him for just being adorable. I see those plushies everywhere I go,
Yes.
and now they have them in space
Like
too.
they're everywhere. Also, did you see that girl's hair in the video? Like, they were literally in gravity. Like, they were in space right there. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was really cool. I don't know how I would be able to do my hair in
No,
space
not
like
at
that.
all. Not at all.
Well, that's all we have for this Tuesday. Thanks for joining us.
We won't have a show next week since the university is going on Thanksgiving break, but for the latest updates and breaking news, head to KentWire.com and TV2 KSU on Twitter. I'm Gianna DaPra.
And I'm Rachel Gross. Have a great night, Portage County, and see you tomorrow at 6.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
I was like,
Dude, are you okay?
I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.